Hey guys, my name's David, this is Sweetie, and we are Fate Unbound. And if you're new to the channel, then what I do is travel around the United States and live off-grid almost exclusively out in the national forests or on BLM land. And I've dragged this 24-foot travel trailer everywhere, way out into the middle of nowhere in the desert, up into the mountain forests, and even out onto the coasts. And it's just how I love to live. I love being out in the middle of nowhere, way out in nature, and just exploring and just seeing everything that this incredible country, the United States, has to offer. There's been some recent growth on the channel, and I've noticed in the comments there have been more questions than normal asking about various parts of my off-grid life setup. And so I just wanted to make this video since, I'm staying with my parents still for the holidays in January. And so right now I'm not living off-grid. I am hooked up to the electrical at my parents' house. And so I figured that, this would be a good chance to show you guys what my off-grid living setup is like and how I live this way. So first off, this is my home. It's a 2017 Keystone Springdale Summerlin travel trailer. It's only 24 and a half feet long, and so the inside only has about 180 square feet of space. But honestly, that's plenty for me to live on. And I tow it with my 2004 Chevy Silverado. It's got the Duramax diesel in it, and so it is plenty strong enough to tow this travel trailer anywhere. But I've made a ton of upgrades to this travel trailer to make it actually off-grid capable because, let's be honest, Keystone, the manufacturer of this thing, never intended for it to be used the way that I do and to be dragged out to the places I've taken it. The biggest upgrade that lets me do what I do is the solar lithium battery bank and the inverter that I have. I've got two 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries right now for a total of 400 amp hours. I've got a Go Power inverter, and I have a rooftop solar array that outputs about 680 watts. And so this solar setup allows me to go wherever I want and still have power. I don't have to be hooked up to electrical. But I do have some things that help me in case I'm not bringing in enough solar energy to charge my batteries back up. Say it's in the winter and we've got a lot of cloudy days, or it's been raining a lot, or if I've just been using my computer a lot to edit video, and I've drained those batteries down. I do have a Honda inverter generator I can hook up, and I did a propane conversion to it, so I can run it off of the propane tanks that are already on the front of my RV. I don't have to carry around gasoline, and that is really nice. And I've also got some portable power stations that I can hook my laptop and my monitor up to. And so, if I'm running low on battery capacity in my house batteries, I can use those portable power stations to help get me by. So this portable power station right here is exactly what I'm talking about, that I can use if I'm in situations where my house batteries start to drain down and I need a little extra. And what's really cool is that this is a power station through DJI, and that name should be familiar to you guys because, DJI is a very popular drone manufacturer, and they're the makers of the drone that I use, that I've been using for almost 8 years now to get all the drone footage that you guys love. And so what's cool about recharging the drone batteries off of this power station is that they can fast charge super quickly. This is a really sleek power station from a brand that I know and trust. The two handles on each side make it really easy to carry. It has a capacity of 1,024 watt hours, and it can be used for pretty much any application that you would need portable power, like outdoor recreation, outdoor content creation, or even home backup. And this power station can be charged extremely quickly in only 70 minutes. It also also has 2 standard USB-A ports, 2 AC output ports, and this power station is strong enough to easily power my gaming laptop, which is just an absolute power hog, especially while I'm editing video, as well as my monitor that I use with that computer and any devices that I hook up to it, like my phone or my tablet also. It can power all of these, no problem. And for RVers, if you want to be able to supply power to your entire rig while you are off-grid camping, then you can just plug your RV directly into the power station and it will be just like your on-shore power. So some things that set the DJI 1000 power station apart from the competition is that it can output 2,500 watts continuously all the way until the battery runs out. It can output 2,600 watts for 30 seconds, and it also has a really high peak output power of 4,400 watts. And it's super quiet while it's being used. Believe it or not, some power stations are kind of loud because they've got really loud cooling fins on the inside. But this one is super efficient and super quiet. It only has a noise level of 23 decibels, and that's quieter than the wind. And so if you're camping and using this overnight while you're trying to sleep, you don't have to worry about the fans kicking on and it waking you up. Okay, enough about power for now. We'll get back to that later, but let's talk about water storage and water consumption. And these are 2 upgrades that I've made to my rig that make it extremely off-grid capable. The first is this composting toilet. And so typically in an RV, you've got a toilet that when you flush it, it uses water, you know, just like a normal toilet, and it flushes it down into the black tank or the sewer tank. But with a composting toilet, I don't have to deal with that. And so this doesn't use any water at all. I just fill up the solids tank here with cocoa core to handle the solids and to handle smell. And the liquids get stored in this bucket up front. And so, yeah, there's no flushing and there's no black tank. And so, yeah, I don't have to worry about dumping my RV. I don't have to worry about dumping my RV's black tank, I should say. What I was able to do is take that black tank and combine it with my gray tank for a total of 74 gallons of gray water storage. And gray water, if you don't know, is just, you know, water that comes out of the faucets or out of the bathtub. It's the non-sewage, like human waste containing water. And so by cutting my water consumption by having a composting toilet and being able to combine my black tank and my gray tank into one massive gray tank, it lets me just stay out so much longer because I'm using less water and my waste tanks don't fill up quite as fast and need to be dumped as often. And so then along that same topic of water storage, I've actually made a huge upgrade that makes my rig a lot more off-grid capable. My travel trailer actually has a pretty big freshwater storage tank of 54 gallons, which is pretty dang big for only being a 24-foot long travel trailer, but still that's just not really enough for me to be able to be out on location, out in the middle of nowhere for very long without needing to fill up my water again. And what's a huge pain is that, you know, this is a towable, it's a travel trailer. And so I would have to hook it back up, drive it out of, you know, wherever I'm at and find some place to fill up water, fill the travel trailer, and then tow it all the way back to the campsite and set up camp again. And so what I did is I bought a 75-gallon water tank, and it is just up at the very front of my truck bed, and I use a water pump that I spliced some alligator clips onto, and so I can clip that to my trailer's house batteries, or I can clip it to my truck's batteries to then pump the water out of that tank and into the travel trailer's fresh tank. And so that just makes everything so much nicer because I can go out to the campsite with both of those tanks full. That's 129 gallons of water. And, you know, if I happen to use that water up, which does happen from time to time, because, you know, I do all my laundry on site. You know, I take showers when I want to. I do all my dishes by hand, and that just takes up a lot of water. And, you know, Got Sweetie, this big Rottweiler, and so she's drinking 1 or 2 gallons a day also. But yeah, if I run out of water, then I can just drive the truck into town and fill up that water tank that's in the back of it and then pump the water up into the travel trailer. And that just makes life so much nicer, so much more convenient. And yeah, allows me to go further out into the middle of nowhere, to camp, because then I don't have to worry about all of the hassle and the headache of driving down some just like really gnarly forest roads just to then have to hook up, go back down those gnarly roads just to get water and then go back up them. Yeah, man, I mean, sometimes it can take me as long as an hour, sometimes 2 hours of just driving down these really rough forest roads or desert roads just to get way out into the, you know, campsite that I want to be at. All right, getting back to power for a second, this is something I'm super excited about. Remember earlier how I said I have 400 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate batteries for the house batteries on this travel trailer? Well, I've got 2 460 amp hour batteries for a total of 920 amp hours. They're epic batteries, and I'm so excited to get these installed on the travel trailer because, you know, 400 amp hours is kind of on the line, but I could really have used like, you know, 500 or 600 amp hours. But then I saw these and I cannot believe the price that Epic Batteries is able to sell these for. They're incredible. It's amazing. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, 920 amp hours. That's going to make it so I don't really have to worry about battery capacity anymore. And these batteries also have a lot of really cool features. They are heated, and so, you know, the batteries, I have them stored in my front pass-through storage compartment. It's not heated, and so in the winter, like right now in Indiana, I have to worry about keeping that storage bay warm enough so that it doesn't drop below freezing in there, because you can damage lithium iron phosphate batteries if you charge them below freezing. And so I'm not going to have to worry about that with these heated, self-heated batteries. And they also come with Victron comms inputs. And so with a Victron system, it can communicate directly with all of that to provide all of the battery cell data, the voltage, state of charge, all that stuff straight to the Victron communication systems. And I don't have Victron components right now, but I'm actually, once I leave Indiana, I'm going straight down to Florida to a place called Great Outdoors Solar. It's owned by a guy named Thomas West. You know, long friends of the channel will know who Thomas West is. He's a good buddy of mine. And yeah, he owns Great Outdoors Solar. It's a solar installation company. They do amazing work. This guy is super professional. And he was like, yeah, man, bring it on down here. Let's get a Victron system installed, get those batteries installed. And yeah, I'm just super excited. And if you guys are, you know, looking to have solar installed on your RV too, I'll drop a link in the video description below. It is a referral link, and so if you let them know you came from Fade Unbound through that referral, then you will save money off of your install, and I'll get a little kickback too. And so, you know, it's a win-win for both of us. And honestly, you're gonna be super happy you did, because, you know, I thought I did a pretty good job on my DIY solar install when I did it myself, but the work, like the level of professionalism that Great Outdoors Solar does, blows my system out of the water. It looks like it was done by a complete noob. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward not only to see Thomas again, but to have a professional, an actual professional do the install. But anyway, getting back to these Epic batteries, another really cool feature they have is there's a button just right on them that you can turn the batteries on and off. And so that just makes life really easy if you want to cut power to and from the batteries, if you need to do some work, or if, you know, there's just some sort of, you know, like worry, there might be a surge or something, who knows, then you can turn the batteries off with that button and you don't have to worry about it again. And there is also an app that is available on your phones and other devices, so that these batteries have Bluetooth communications built into them already. So you don't need anything else if you just want to be able to monitor from your phone, you know, various individual cell data, battery voltage, state of charge, that kind of stuff. And so yeah, if you're looking for really good quality lithium batteries, check Epic out. Their prices are amazing. It absolutely blew me away because when I first installed this system, all I could afford was 400 amp hours. And I'm not kidding you, the 920 amp hours I got was about 75% the price of what I paid for 400 amp hours 7 or 8 years ago. So yeah, check them out for your lithium batteries too. Oh, and I guess I should mention too that it's not just Sweetie and I in this trailer. We've also got these two little cuties. This is Min and this is Tat. And they're actually really old rabbits. Tat is 8 and Min is 9. So yeah, they've been on the road with us pretty much their entire lives. Another huge part of being able to live off grid, especially as a YouTuber, is, you know, I need to stay connected to the internet. And believe it or not, I have many ways of being able to do that. The first and primary one is this T-Mobile router. T-Mobile internet has gotten so good and so cheap. It's more likely that you're going to have a good T-Mobile signal out in the boondocks, out in the middle of nowhere, than say Verizon or especially AT&T. This only costs me $60 a month, and I have truly unlimited 5G data and 4G if there's no 5G signal. And so yeah, this is the primary because $60 a month, super affordable, truly unlimited. It didn't used to be this way. When I first hit the road, it was, I don't know, man, like $100 a month for 15 gigabytes, and we would blast through that, no problem. Like, I mean, I would shred through 15 gigabytes so quickly just streaming and uploading videos. And if there's no T-Mobile signal, I can turn my cell phone into a mobile hotspot. I believe I have 200 gigabytes of data. It might only be 100 gigabytes. I forget because I just don't use this all that often anymore because my Verizon signal when I'm out, you know, living off grid, way out in the middle of the forest, the desert, the mountains, whatever, my Verizon signal is usually pretty bad. And so the fallback to all of that is if there's no cell service, then I've got this Starlink system. I keep it in this handy little case to protect it. And yeah, Starlink is amazing. I'm sure you guys know all about it. You know, as long as you've got a pretty clear view of the sky, then you're going to have good internet with the Starlink too. And you know, since I am relying off of solar for my power, then you know, odds are I've got a clear view of the sky anyway. But I try to not use this if I don't have to because it's $150 a month, and that's pretty expensive for me. But the nice thing about Starlink Roam is that you can pause your service whenever you want. And so like right now, it's paused. So I'm not paying anything a month for this. And then when I get out to wherever my next camping spot is at, you know, let's say I'm way out in the national forest somewhere, I get out there, I set up my T-Mobile hotspot, no internet. You know, so I try my Verizon cell phone, no internet. It's okay because then I can unpause my Starlink service, set this baby up, and boom, I've got internet. And so yeah, it doesn't matter where I'm at, I can have internet, but I do have options because yeah, this is really expensive. And the nice thing about the T-Mobile router too is you can pause it also. And so I'm just kind of playing around with what I have set up as my internet. You know, I'll pause this if it doesn't have any signal, get the Starlink out, or if I do have signal with this, pause the Starlink. Yeah, and so that's just how I do it to try and save some money. I wanted to get back to the DJI power station real quick because there are a couple of pretty cool features that I forgot to mention. And the first is the 1 kilowatt super fast car charger. You can install this in your car, and what it can do is charge the power station just using your vehicle's alternator, and it can charge up to 1 kilowatt. And so it can charge up the power station in about 78 minutes is what they say, and that's just crazy. It is super easy to install too. It comes with all the wiring that you need, and it's just got the eyelets that you connect to the positive and negative terminal on the battery, and then the other side connects to the super fast car charger that I just showed you. And it does even have a little fuse block here to keep everything safe, so you don't have to worry about you know, any electrical issues. And I just think that's really cool because that's not something that has been around with power stations for very long. And some other cool accessories you can get for this is the DJI power dongle that you can plug right into the power station like this, and that allows you to connect via Bluetooth and monitor and control this power station from an app on your phone. It's pretty sweet. And then there's also a SDC to 12 volt car like cigarette lighter port that you can get in case you need one of those as well. And so that's pretty handy too. And also there's this nice protective case that you can get, and it just protects the power station. And what I really like about it is that you can have the power station outside then, and it'll be protected from the elements, but you can still open up these vent pockets so the power station can still keep itself cool. And for RVers, that's really nice because then you can plug your RV directly into the power station so that it powers your entire rig, just like you're set up to or hooked up to shore power. Or obviously if you're out tent camping, then you don't have to worry about the elements. But yeah, that's, if you want to check any of this stuff out, I'll drop links in the video description below too. So there you go, guys. That is my off-grid living setup. You know, it's not like a 4x4 off-road van, which would be really sweet. And I've actually thought about, you know, downsizing to something like that, but I just love that I don't feel cramped in here. You know, for just me, my dog, and my 2 rabbits, this is plenty of room. Again, like I said, it's only 180 square feet, but it's plenty of room, and I don't have to make compromises like having to pack my toilet away in some crazy area and it be this big hassle every time I need to get it out, or, you know, not having a shower and needing to go shower at a gym or something. You know, I have all of the amenities and comforts that you would have in like a really small like studio apartment, and that's what it feels like to me. But I can still take this thing out to almost everywhere that, you know, one of those vans could get. Almost. I can't go to some of the extreme places, and that does hurt because I do desperately want to go out to those places too. But, you know, it's just, it's a give and take. And yeah, I really love this travel trailer. I love all the upgrades I've done to it to really, you know, make it as off-roadable and as off-grid capable as I possibly can. You know, the extra water tanks, the composting toilet, the solar array on the roof, the big batteries that I'm about to install, the portable power stations I have as backups, the generator I have as a backup to the backups. And, you know, it being able to run off of propane is huge. And yeah, I'm really happy with my setup. And it just, over these 8 years, I've just made it my own. And yeah, what do you think, Pup? You like it too? I think Sweetie likes it too. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you got any questions, or if you're thinking of doing some sort of off-grid setup, off-grid living, you know, RV or travel van or something, and you saw something in this video that kind of piqued your interest and you've got questions on it, yeah, just drop them in the comments below and hopefully I see them and I can respond to those questions. Because that's one of the reasons I really enjoy making videos, specifically like this one where I explain what I do. So that, yeah, I can just help anyone else out there that's getting started. But, you know, also, I tend to learn a lot from you guys too in videos like this, because one of you guys will have some sort of idea. You'll be like, oh, hey, what? I just have to pet you, huh? You know, one of you guys will be like, oh, hey, I'm doing this differently than what you showed. And I'll realize that, oh, the way you're doing it is better. And then I can incorporate that into what I'm doing. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm only here for about another week. And so I'm really looking forward to heading down to Florida, checking out the national forests down in Florida, because I haven't done that yet. Seeing Thomas West again, and getting my whole solar system upgraded. I'm really excited. But again, my name's David. This is Sweetie, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. What, do you want to say bye? Did you want to say bye? Boo. Good girl. Good girl.